Look, it's a real pleasure to be able to talk to you here today and to really just be able to share this story. I started contributing to open source software probably around 13, and that would have been around the Raspberry Pi ecosystem using Python and learning Node.js. Node was one of my sort of gateway drugs. It really got me interested in programming and sort of took me to the next level. From there, it's really just been a case of as and when I've needed to pick up a new language or tool, I've done it. At one point, I had no idea what Docker was or really, what DevOps was. I thought it might have been even the same thing. And then slowly but surely, I spent a little more time kind of working through that, learning what this stuff was and how I could apply it at work. And so I think learning technology for the sake of technology can be fascinating. However, for me, to have a drive and to really be able to go and make some use of that, it was okay. So now you know that technology, go and apply it, evangelize it, get other people using it. And for me, that was a real test of success. I remember the moment when I had Selenium built on Mono, running on Linux through Jenkins, auto provision through Docker. It was a sweet setup, and I showed it to the automation lead, and he saw some promise in it, because the Windows alternative, keeping the machines patched and just having Windows machines to even run the tests, was kind of arduous, right? And so I'd found the way of connecting it. And then when it came to Go, obviously I was doing a bit of tinkering with open source. I built this project called OpenFaz and a similar project at the same time called Jazz, which just ran a one-shot job on Swarm instead of functions. It's still around. Actually, it's got a bunch of hits on it. But with that, I kind of thought, okay, well, is there a way that I can apply this here? And we were using a plugin for Jenkins called TFS. It was very, rudimentary. It was hard to configure. It was difficult to use. And so what we did, simply went and created loads and loads of manual job configurations, and there wasn't a plugin. So I thought, okay, maybe I can apply this technology that I've learned, this Go, and YAML, which was kind of popular at the time from Docker Compose, and stick them together. And then I evangelized it internally within the company and the team. I found a co-developer and a co-maintainer to help champion it. I spoke to the VP and got a session set up for us to even go and train everyone on it, give them a workshop, show them the value of it. And all the time I was relating it back to the business problem. And that is how you get to use cool tech at work. And maybe you don't get success at work, but you may get success in a community and outside of that. And who knows where it might lead for your career and your future. Great things could be basically just awaiting you, right? And it's how much are you going to give into that? How much are you going to get back? Now, you may be really busy. You may be trying to juggle family life, and maybe you're trying to juggle work demands or work training. Really, this only going to suit a few types of people. I think you have to be probably an A personality, type A, maybe quite anal, really expect high standards of yourself and be very driven, right? And if that's not you, this might not be a great fit, or if you have too much else going on in your life, again, it might be difficult. And so that's why I think about relating it to your work and your job. Right, there's a company as a manager that's motivated to pay you to do a job. If you find a pain point and you can produce a simple solution, and it's not something that's completely esoteric that the whole team are going to have a trouble with, like let's say you've rebuilt the entire job controller in Rust, right, when you could have built it in Go. We heard recently from an article from Google, was designed for junior developers to get up to speed very quickly, to be able to code and create applications, right, maintain them. Personally, I really like it. When I first started using Go, I was programming like a Node.js developer, and my colleague said, this is just not idiomatic Go. I said, but it works. And eventually I came around to his point of view. And now I can see when people are coming from Python or Java and they're writing Go code that way. Right? It just doesn't suit it particularly well. But I think it is a pretty decent language. Again, something like Python or Ruby are easy to pick up, and even automation teams can work with them. So I thought that might just be a little bit of an interesting side story for you. Hope you found that interesting and inspirational. I'd love to hear your story too. You know how to get in touch with me. All right, bye-bye.